Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news. Apologies for being late, but this is quite a big show for us. We will be talking about Jadon Sancho. I've got a lot to get through, but we've also got a big announcement of our own, which is quite a sad announcement as well. So, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be quite an epic United Stand show, I think. Jimmy Garner says Mark's never been on time for a show yet. Would still be a better negotiator than Matt Judge. We are, of course, going to be talking about Jadon Sancho. There are updates from Fabrizio Romano from The Guardian, talking about the wages, talking about the fee, how long we've known about the fee, and when that fee may well get paid. And also, this could still happen before the Italy game tomorrow. So we'll be talking about that. Also, Paul Pogba has spoken about his future, Manchester United, and what might be happening there. So lots to talk about there. Our massive announcement that we're going to make. But first of all, let me just say, this show is sponsored by Boohoo Man, and you can get 40% off. But this is something really fun and really exciting that it's definitely to do with a footballer and could be to do with a new signing for United as well. So listen to this. Today's show is supported by Boohoo Man. So today Boohoo Man do not want me to talk about the active range, which I am actually wearing quite now. They've launched a range with a brand new sportsman, and I want to see if you can guess who it is from the clues I give you. They're a footballer. Put your answer in the chat, and the first person who gets the answer right gets a Goldbridge style congratulations. So here are the clues. This sportsman has played 96 Premier League games and has scored 15 goals, including a screamer against Manchester United. So 96 games, 15 goals, and a screamer against United. He's currently playing now. He's got 7 caps for England, but that will increase during this summer's Euro 2020. Although he currently plays for England, he has played for the Republic of Ireland at youth level. And if you don't get this, you're an idiot now. And he's a huge Aston Villa fan. So who is going to get that one first for the big shout out? And I'll tell you what, I've seen it. Hums a goose. You've won, Jack Grealish. High five, mate. Yabba dabba doo. You're a prat. You've got it. It was, of course, Jack Grealish. And the exciting thing I can tell you about Jack Grealish is that we've got an early look at some of the Jack Grealish denim edit. And I've already asked the guys at Boohoo Man to send me some of those items over. So click the link in the description and take advantage of the amazing 40% discount that they have given the United Stand viewers by using the code United Stand at checkout. Thanks so much to Boohoo Man for supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. We are going to get on with the show. But on a serious note, Boohoo Man have got a range with Jack Grealish, and the link is in the video description. You can get 40% out. The legend that is Jack... Well, he's not a legend, is he? He's not a United legend. I like Jack Grealish. I think he's a fantastic player. I'd love to have him at Manchester United. And if you want to check out the range that he's done with Boohoo Man, the link's in the video description. 40% off. Give it a look. Right. We're going to talk about Jadon Sancho. We're going to talk about this bid. And this bid, of course, is meant to be 90 million euros. I think the title of the show is Sancho 90 million bid incoming. It is incoming. It's 90 million euros, not 90 million pounds. So we need to change that. It's not 90 million pounds. I'll change that on the chat. It is incoming. £350,000 a week wages. Apparently Manchester United had a £67 million bid rejected. Although we've got no clarity from the club. They had a £60 million bid rejected reportedly. And Borussia Dortmund will take 77.5 million, which is 90 million euros. We'll be getting into the depth of that. We'll also be talking about Paul Pogba and his future. He's been speaking about contract negotiations. He says there has been no concrete negotiations, even though Sky Sports have said that there has been. That is from Paul Pogba's mouth talking to RMC Sport. He says, I'm focused on the Euros and I am not in concrete negotiations with Manchester United. Some people are saying the wages are a robbery. Charles John, thanks for the super chat. I think they will negotiate to lower the price, and if Dortmund reject that, they will take 90 million, and we've got him. Yeah, I do want to talk about Sancho. I do want to talk about Pogba, but I think I've tried to get this in as early as I can in this show. It's been a really weird week. Obviously, some people have sort of picked up on a few things that have been going on with the channel. And I do need to play something to you, and then we can pick up on it afterwards. Hello, everybody. Mark Goldbridge from the United Stand. I don't know why I've just said that. But look, you can see something below there. I think there's been stuff going on social media for the last sort of week or so. So, look, Flex, it says what it says there. You can have your say first on this.
Yeah, a lot of social media. You know what social media is like. So very important to come on and kind of have my say. I have decided to leave the United Stand. It's not something I've taken lightly. Me and Mark have been in discussion the whole time. So any rumours, put that to bed. We've been talking for a while about this. This isn't something that's just kind of magic out of the atmosphere. But yeah, I'm just I've loved every single moment on the United stand. It's been nearly 4.5 years now. Like, it's an insane amount of time. I look at what we've achieved, how well the channel's done. But I felt that this was the right time for me to just step off and do something myself and have a new challenge and step out of that realm, man. And like I said, it's not something that was an easy decision. It's not something that was a quick decision. I look at everything that we've done on this channel from, when did I start? My God, 120K subscribers, something like that, right through to now past 1 million, what we're on now. And it's just been a crazy, crazy journey. I think back to some of the memories and just seeing how big the United stand got and what a part of it I was, working alongside everyone at the channel. It's just been amazing, and it's going to continue to be amazing even when I'm not here, and I just wish everyone the best, all the guys on the fan forum. You look at Ricky, Beth, Jay, Alex, Jack, Jordan's now on the channel. He's doing really well. He's flying. And I know you're just going to go from strength to strength as well. So, but I'm excited though. I am excited, and I'm pleased. This isn't something that I need everyone to know. This isn't something that the United stand have decided to do, and I'm sure Mark will talk about that in a bit. But this is completely my decision. The biggest thing for me in this was being able to come here and do this, because what social media is like. We see it all the time. People come up with their own theories, and I just wanted everyone to see it here and hear it from myself that I've made this decision, me solely. And yeah, man, it's the end of an era, but the United stand will live on. I'm certainly going to live on. I'm looking forward to the next chapters for both of us, and I'm excited, man. So yeah, what are 4 and a bit years, man? Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look, from my point, I just want to say thanks to Flex. We've been on camera a lot, but we've done a lot of stuff off camera. I think about the Old Trafford and stuff like that. We've had a great journey, but I just want to reiterate that sometimes you can deal with things professionally, and we do wish Flex all the best in what he's going to do. I know he's going to be doing stuff on the Euros with like Robbie, and I know he was on Twitch last night, and there's other things to come. Yeah. And I think ultimately it comes down to doing what's best for you. And I think I've been aware of that with Flex for a while, that it's hard to do United stand and then do some of the stuff he wants to do. He's been on Sky and stuff like that. It's sad. It is. And look, social media is going to be social media, but for a week we've had rumors and stuff. But if you do deal with it properly, and I respect Flex for how he's dealt with it, and we've dealt with it the same, is that we always wanted to do this. And we spoke about a live show, but then you get live chat and you're chatting for an hour. And it's like, at the end of the day, does Cristiano Ronaldo do a video leaving United? He probably does a little short statement. And some people just go with their... And one thing I want to say as well is that this is a fan channel, and it's not a dictatorship. Nobody's ever been kicked off this channel, and nobody is going to get... I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, Flex is Ollie out, which he's not, by the way. I'm not throwing Flex under the bus for that. So he's off the channel. That's not how it works. We didn't want this to happen. We respect why it's happening, even though we're really disappointed by it. And, I think that I do liken it to football. We're a football channel. And as much as I would love Flex to be a Paul Scholes who's there here from start to finish, I think it's just a different path where it's maybe it is a Ronaldo or it is a Beckham, where it's somebody you don't want him to go, but that's the whole point of the United stand. It's about having your opinion, and I think we've had 4 really good years of that, and it will be a different evolution from here for both. But who knows what the future holds? Who knows what the future holds? Absolutely.
And I just to reiterate, I just look at the channel, and one thing I do want to say as well is how proud I am, though. Because there could be certain people who might think like, oh, you just wasted 4 years of your life. No, like, everything that's happened over the last 4 years has been amazing and has brought me to this point for a reason. And the same with the channel. Look where the channel's got to, man. I just think of where it started versus where it is now. And not just because of me. I was an integral part alongside yourself, but just in general, you look at the last 4 years. If I'm just picking out some of the highlights, because I can't leave without picking out some of the highlights. I mean, when we were in press conferences, that just didn't even add up. It was like, that was almost like, we can say we were the first ones from the fan arena to even be in there. That was amazing. You look at when we did the tour, You know, the United stand is known around the world, bringing Man United fans together as a community worldwide. Do you know what I'm saying? Leaving no stone unturned around the world. So that will be typical Mark. Typical Mark. Never got the phone on silent.
No, when I do have it on silent, I miss things. But yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah. It might be Jadon Sancho. Yeah, it's just been a massive, amazing journey that don't regret one bit of. That's the one thing I want to put out there, because people will say, "Oh, you know, you could have done this for you, or whatever." It's not about that. The journey was right then, and the journey's right now, and the next bit is right, and everything's right. So I feel good. I feel happy. I feel blessed, and I just can't wait for the future. And I'm still going to watch the United stand. I'm still going to tune in to see all the rants. I'm still going to, you know, be a fan of it and everyone on it. So yeah, here's to the future, man. Here's to the future.
Yeah, well, look, Frank, thanks very much for Flex popping on there. I mean, look, Flex is excited, and we wish him all the best on that. I'm not going to pretend. It's been a whirlwind week, and we were talking about it just before then. I'm not going to pretend that this is something that we want, and I'm not going to pretend that we're happy about it. But I think that's the right way to be anyway, because it's like, why would you be happy about somebody leaving a team that's been an important part of it? But yeah, look, we wanted to put that out there. I don't think we've ever done anything like this before, because I think, you know, some people just want to wander off and, you know, disrespect what the channel is, and you know, it's not, the channel is not me. You know, maybe one day I'll get my transfer, but we'll see. But
I'll tune in for that. I'll tune in for that.
Big thanks, Flex, and I appreciate you popping on. And as I said, all the best in the future.
I appreciate everything, and honestly, thank you, man.
I think that's perfect, mate. Hello, everybody. Mark Gold. And that's that. Thanks everyone for listening to that. Quite long, but you know, I think it's. I think, you know, when somebody who's been with us for 4 years, it's, you know, they deserve that. And look, I was reading. I've obviously I recorded that. I know everything that was said in that, and I've listened it back to make sure that it plays all right on the channel when I do it. I read some of the comments, and of course you're going to get the prats in there who want to say, you know, nasty things. But I think ultimately, all I can say is, people say, oh, offering more money, this, that, and the other. All I can say about that is powerless, absolutely powerless to what's gone on there. It's not about offering people money. It's not about this, that, and the other. There's nothing we could do about that. And we've been in conversations for the last week, sort of trying to, you know, find a way to sort of get to this point in an amicable way, because it is a hard thing to come through. But, you know, as I said in that thing there, you know, we are a community, and we will come through this. That's what will happen. And, you know, best of luck to Flex in what he's going to do. Good luck. And, you know, who knows what happens in the future. But for now, it's about rebuilding. And, you know, I'm a little bit older than some people, and I've seen Sir Alex Ferguson rebuild 3 or 4 Man United sides, and people say, why do people leave United stand? Well, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people who come on the United stand, a lot of people come from fan cams. And look, Flex has done a fantastic job on fan cams, but fan cams for me have always been a little bit... And look, what Flex did on the fan cams is fantastic. I'm not saying that he hasn't done that, but I'm saying that some people who come through the fan cams, you know, I've been at Old Trafford, they're queuing up. It's almost like they've got a script to say what they want to say to take opportunities. So I think everybody wants an opportunity in life. I think, you know, you come on the United stand, and is that, you know, for me, the United stand is really important. You know, for Drawty, for Ryan and a few others, it's, you know, this is our thing. We built it from absolute scratch. Some people come in and they're part of the journey, and I think, you know, for me, maybe I'm... They said maybe I'm the Ryan Giggs. I'd rather be the Paul Scholes. He was one of my favourite players. But some people are Yap Stam. Some people are Andy Cole. Some people are Ronaldo. Some people are David Beckham. They come and they go. But I think that shows the power of the United stand, and the power that people can come in for a little bit of time and then go off and do other things. So I'm proud of that, because most of these people that have come in, and Flex is a prime example of that, they come into the channel as nobody. They come in as nobody. Nobody knows who they are. I think Flex probably started his Twitter account with nothing, and look at what they leave with. So, you know, I'm very proud of these people that come into the channel, build themselves off and go elsewhere. And, you know, well, best of luck to them. Best of luck to them. That's what it's all about. And who knows who'd be next? It could be you. Could be you. Because people like Beth have come in, and Jordan have come in, and Xander came in, and Zara came in, and, you know, Adam came in. These people came in took the opportunity and they've gone off and done other things in front of the camera, behind the camera. That's the way it should be. So I'm very, very sad about it because I value what Flex has done and we've done so much stuff together on and off the camera. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It's sad, but you move on. You move on. And as I said, we wish him all the best as a community. I'm sure that we do. Right, let's move on with the show. Difficult, I know, but we have got big news to discuss. And Jonathan apparently tweeted that Sancho to United isn't imminent. I think that was always one of my favourite Absolute Champ. Hope you can drop in once in a while for a chat on the channel, says Vinnet. I don't know about that, mate, because what he's doing now, I don't know whether that allows for it, but we'll see. We'll see. You never know. I'm probably know as much as you in relation to that at the moment, so I don't know about that, but you know, as you see, it's amicable in relation to the parting of the ways. Obviously, I didn't want it to happen, but you know, I'm sure you didn't want it to happen either. Anyway, let's talk about Jadon Sancho. So it's been a weird day. It's been a very weird day, but it's been a weird day. We've got Pogba talking about his future at Manchester United. We've got Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. We're 24 hours. In 24 hours' time, I'm sat on That's Football doing Italy versus Turkey watch-along for the opening game of the Euros. And it's not the normal start to the Euros. This is like Italy-Turkey, massive game. Italy, Switzerland and Wales, their biggest game of the group, really, their first game. England, Croatia. So these big games are coming, this big tournament's coming, and yet here we are, 24 hours on the eve of a massive tournament that's going to take up a lot of time for everybody over the next month. We're talking about a Jadon Sancho deal being imminent. It doesn't make sense to me. Why have Manchester United left it so late? Why are Manchester United trying to get this deal announced before the start of the Euros? I would say they've probably got until midday tomorrow to do this, because if you try and do it on Saturday, why would United make a marquee signing of Jadon Sancho and announce it on the first day of the Euros when, you know, the whole point of Sancho is break the internet. Break the internet, break the trending, you know, get it absolutely the biggest thing ever. Why would United want to do that on a day where everyone's going to be talking about the Euros? So I think it can happen, but I think it's got to happen in the next 24 hours. And I'll stand by what I've always said. I don't think this is happening now. I don't, but I'll stand by what I've always said as well. I've still got people messaging me saying, looks like it's going to be really, really close. I think the interesting thing for me is that Romano has come out and said that Manchester United have known since April that the price for Jadon Sancho is 90 million euros, around 80 million quid. And that, you know, United know that, and it's about how they structure that deal that suits Dortmund. Effectively, Dortmund want £80 million, and it's how they get to that £80 million. So I think that's going to be interesting. Sean Turner says, with Sancho wages, kiss goodbye to Varane, because no way will we sign two players on over 300k a week. Torres incoming. Well, I want to talk about the wages as well, Sean, but yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to stress about Man United and how long they've known about Sancho for 95 million, because we were negotiating for Sancho last year. So saying, oh, we've been doing this since April and we still haven't done it. I mean, you could say that. I would question why United, knowing he's £80 million and knowing £80 million is a fair price for him, why have we taken as long as we have? But if it happens in the next few hours or tomorrow, no one's really going to moan too much about that. But it seems to me like everywhere you look, £80 million, 90 million euros, whatever, it seems to me that that is established, and it's been established for a long time, and a lot of different journalists are talking about it and a lot of different sources are talking about it. Dortmund won't shift on that, so United are going to have to find a way that suits Dortmund. And, you know, maybe it's like we're going to give them 60 and 20 next year. Maybe we're going to give them 70 and 10 next year. Maybe that's what it's all about. But, you know, how long does it take to do that? I mean, I've worked in banking, I've worked in lots of different things, but I think at the end of the day, if you get two people in a room and you say, we want 80 million, and you say, we'll give you 60 plus 20, and they say no, how long does it take you to go back and say, all right, we'll give you 70 plus 10? No. We'll give you 80, yes. I appreciate, like, if Manchester United's chief negotiator has done his job, surely he's spoken to the Glazers and everyone and said, what's our limit? Or do I have to come back to you after every bid? And Dortmund's the same. What will we take? Or do I come back to you with different offers? It just seems to be a very slow process that could be a lot quicker. Gwydion says, I've read that Sancho was on 13 million, which is 250k, not 350k. Yeah, the wages thing, I would probably agree with you, Gwydion. A lot of people are saying 250k a week. But look, I read it on the United Journal, which is a Twitter account, quoting Jacob Steenberg from The Guardian, mentioning £350,000 a week. So I can mention that because that's a story. But Akshay says, why each and every step of United's transfers is out there in the media, from personal terms to first bid and rejected bid. Why not so with others? Is it bad? Because we leaked like a sieve, Akshay. You don't get this with Liverpool. You don't get it with Man City. You don't get it with Chelsea. Every part of a Man United transfer leaks like a sieve. And you're right, it's frustrating because as a fan, you have to go through the process. But United, over pretty much since the Glazers took over United, all of our transfers have been played out step by step, and it just makes it a very long process. But you're right, other transfers are done. But then I think also other clubs are more efficient. I always talk about Fabinho to Liverpool. It was 8 o'clock at night they were linked to him. It was 9 o'clock they'd signed him. So, some clubs do transfers better than others. I don't believe that we're going to pay Jadon Sancho £350,000 a week. I think you're more likely it's £250,000 a week, because I think at Dortmund he was on. Look, I think at Dortmund it was 200, so 250k a week is probably about right. If you paid him 350 quid a week, you've got a bargain. If you pay him £350,000 a week, he's on more than Martial, he's on more than Rashford, he's on nearly the same as David De Gea, he's on more than Pogba, he's on triple what Bruno's on at the moment. I just don't think it will be 350k a week. I think it'll be 250k a week, which, to be honest with you, I agree is probably the right fee. £350,000 a week would be stupid. Would you ever rule United out doing something stupid with wages? No, you wouldn't, but I think it probably will be about 250k a week, because 350k a week sounds ridiculous. Mark, would you rather average squad Spain with great manager, or England great squad but bad manager? Says Thomas T. I think a manager that can get the best out of England would be fine. Also, expectations: United sign Sancho before the Euro. Reality: Jones signs lifetime contract with United, says Galactic. Publicity, says Desmond Short, whatever that means. So yeah, look, I think that there is a Manchester United. Apparently, 95 million bid just rejected. Dortmund want 15 million, so closer to 100 million. 15 million, so close to 100 million. I mean, you know what, Green Avenger? I don't know whether that information has just come out as fresh. I'll have a look at that. Ibro says, my dreams will come true if you invite me to the show. And that's Iham from the States. Okay. Well, we do call-ins and stuff, mate, so get yourself on there, definitely. Check Fabrizio Romano, it's nearly done. I mean, look, don't tell me to keep checking stuff. I'm not going to do that. I was going to Twitter anyway, just to see if there was anything about this bid being done. But there is nothing new from Fabrizio Romano, apart from what we've spoken about already. But I just want to check if there is anything... Jonathan Schrager saying, from what I'm told, Sancho to Man United is not imminent, and I think that that's probably going to be quite right. I can't see anything about an increase in the price. I'll tell you what, I am on Twitter. I just want to say, you know what, United Alex, you've probably made me feel fantastic tonight. I really appreciate what you've said. He says, Flex has left United stand. I like everyone on the United stand, but if Mark ever leaves, it'll be finished. That's nice, because, all I want to say is that I never wanted that to happen. I did everything I could to try and stop that from happening, and I respect why it's happened. I really do, because people do move on and they want to go and do themselves. And as I said, I don't think it's possible for Flex to do the things he wants to do and continue with the United stand, but I wanted him to continue, and I'm gutted by it. But it's nice when people say, actually, thanks Mark, and thanks everybody else who's on the channel, because I think when somebody leaves, we are left as a community, but the people appreciate what everyone else does as well. So I appreciate that. I know I've just wandered off completely there, but I do feel quite shit tonight, and that's nice. So big shout out. Welcome to the United Stand Members Club, Chris Graham, your legend. Thank you very much for that. I can't find anything else about anything being added on. And I think at this point, what we don't want around Jadon Sancho is a situation where you know, we've always been told by everybody the price is £80 million. We don't want to see, oh, Dortmund now want 100 million quid. Because you know what I would do? The mood I'm in? Fuck off, Dortmund. I would. I'd say fuck off. Shove it up your arse. I'm sorry, Jadon, but they can go fuck themselves. Go and get Rafinha for half the price. If Dortmund knock this price up over 80 million, and look, I am feeling a bit emotional tonight, go fuck yourselves. No thanks. No. We don't go above £80 million. We're not that desperate. We're desperate for a fucking centre midfielder. We're desperate for a centre-back. We're not actually desperate for a right winger. Jadon Sancho is a fantastic player. I want him at this club and he will change the way we play football in our attacking third. But we scored a lot of goals last year. Our midfield is shit. Our centre-back pairing is suspect when Maguire's not got a partner with him. So if Dortmund start playing silly buggers, go tell Dortmund to go fuck themselves. Quite seriously do. So I don't want to see that price changing. I don't think it will change. I think it will be £80 million. And God, let's get this deal done soon. What is better that all the publicity around the Euros then drop to the story that has been signed, says Desmond Short. And welcome to the Members Club, Antrin. Thank you for your support, Antrin. And Mark, thanks for all you do for the United Stand. We've been through many highs and lows as a community and continue to be strong, says SB. Look, you know what? You're either part of the United Stand community or you're not. This show started off with me, Kev, Rich, Martin, Alex doing a Sunday show at 8 o'clock with 50 people watching. Look at it now. You know, we've been through ups and downs together. That's what this community is. And I will steer this ship as ever through whatever choppy waters we have to go through, because that's what we do, because this matters, this channel matters. And if people don't want to be part of it, go and, you know, I'm not talking about flex here, I'm talking about people watching the show, by the way. If you don't want to be part of it anymore because you think it's not the same, go and find something good. You know, I stopped watching, what did I stop watching? I stopped watching, what was it called? I can't even remember what it was called. I stopped watching The Walking Dead, because I just didn't like it anymore. I got bored of it. So if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. If you want to be part of it, do be part of it. But go and live your life. That's all you can do, isn't it? Go and live your life and enjoy it. Really appreciate what you do, Mark. Look forward to watching these shows daily. If Dortmund want more than 80 million for Sancho, who would you go for? We will get Sancho for 80 million. What I'm saying is people are chucking out sort of, your Dortmund want more. Dortmund won't want more because they've got a gentleman's agreement with Jadon Sancho that £80 million is going to be the price, and that will be the price. United just need to find a way of establishing that price soon. But I tell you what, if Jonathan Schrager's right on Twitter, and he has been right about stuff in the past, if he is right that a Sancho deal is not imminent, then I feel sorry for people because they've been sucked in twice. Over a week ago, 10 days ago, people were saying that Sancho can happen before the Euros, and some of you believed it. I didn't. I was like, please, let's hope it happens, but I don't think it'll happen. We'd all sort of forgotten about that. Well, not forgotten about it. We'd all accepted it wasn't going to happen before the Euros when it hit Wednesday morning. It's not going to happen now. And then this morning, we're like, a bid's gone in. It could happen before the Euros again. And now we're hearing it's not going to happen again. So, look, I think that the frustrating thing with this deal, and Delicate Official says, Mark, if we get the deal structured over 4 years as it's been reported, how may that influence our summer budget? Well, it helps the budget, doesn't it, if you can structure a deal? But maybe that's what we're arguing about, and maybe that's what we're getting to. But I firmly believe we will do this deal. I just don't know when we will do it. Mark, are we more desperate for a centre-back or a CDM? We won't be winning the league with McFred, need more depth. Lil, I personally, and I've said this before, I think we will get a centre-back and we will get a right winger. So maybe I'm saying this from a position of strength. But for me, this summer is about... It's not about... It's about whether you get a CDM. If we get a CDM, this summer has been as good as it can be. If we don't get a CDM, I don't think it's really progression. I think it's pulling the wool over your eyes because Sancho and a centre-back was meant to happen last summer. We're just doing last summer's business this summer if we don't get a CDM. So that's what I think is really important. But I think contextually, it's so hard to talk about Jadon Sancho at the moment. And welcome to the Members Club, Manish. Thanks very much for that. If you want to become a member and get a badge next to your name like Thomas Bennett and support the channel, you can do that by clicking the join button. I am going to talk about Pogba in a moment, J1 Rems, but I think in relation to Jadon Sancho, just to summarise it, I think the worst thing about this deal is that we're sort of going through an emotional roller coaster. I think if you'd said to everybody, and look, when the season finished and we didn't win the Europa League, I actually sat there and thought, I think we will get Jadon Sancho, but it won't happen till after the Euros. And I was mentally prepared for that. And what's annoyed me about the last 2.5 weeks is we've had all these leaks that it's going to happen before the Euros. And I never believed it would, but you hope it does. And then when it doesn't happen, even though you don't believe it's going to happen, but you hope it's going to happen, it uses up energy. So I do feel a little bit flat going into the Euros that we didn't get it done, even though I knew we wouldn't get it done. And, it would have shown real efficiency. It would have shown reform. It would have shown that this new director of football probably has changed something. And to not do that, what was that all about? Oh, we nearly did. Well, you didn't. Nearly isn't did. And we haven't done it, and it doesn't look like we're going to do it, and it won't now happen until after the Euros, unless we maybe announce it next week pending a medical, which is fine. But, I do feel a little bit flat, but I've got to be honest with you, I do believe we will get this deal done. £80 million will be the deal, however we structure it. I do believe we'll get it done. I'd love to say it's going to be announced in the morning ahead of the Euros, and then we can enjoy the first weekend of the Euros. But it sounds to me like it's going to drag on for a bit. And it can still be announced. It could be announced next week. But remember, Gareth Southgate really doesn't want Jadon Sancho transfer deal overshadowing England's first few games. And you can understand that. What number kit will Jadon Sancho wear, says Seth? Well, let's leave that for when the deal's done. We don't know about that. Okay, let's talk about Paul Pogba. The Euros start tomorrow, Brian. They start at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll have a watch along on That's Football. Also, make sure you check out the preview for the Euros on That's Football. We had Craig from Anfield Agenda, Jordan, Kev, and Joe. It was hilarious. It was a fantastic half an hour. It's well worth a watch. Check out That's Football, Mark Goldbridge. You can also check out my first foray into acting. I don't know whether you follow me on Twitter at Mark Goldbridge, but just check my timeline. There's a new Paddy Power advert out for the Euros. It's brilliant. It's a really funny idea what they've got about England and etc. Well, Goldbridge cameos in it, a little dance at the end, and something involving a pint of water. So if you've not seen it, it's well worth a watch. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Right, let's talk about Paul Pogba. I stopped watching porn 7 weeks cold turkey. Was getting too addictive. Thanks for giving me the platform to share this burden, says Dave on a stick. Okay, takes all sorts. And Critty says, I would rather pay 100 for Rice. Grealish, they will have more instant impact on the team. I love Jack Grealish. I mean, not just because he's done a clothing line with Boohoo Man, which you can get 40% off through the link in the video description. Check out the new Jack Grealish and Boohoo Man collaboration. You literally click the video in the video description and you'll see pictures of Jack Grealish in Boohoo Man Clobber that you can get 40% off. But also, with the United Stand code, I just would love Grealish at United. I really would. And I suppose that feeds into Paul Pogba. Because Paul Pogba has been speaking today, and he will be speaking to the press quite a lot because it's the Euros. And I just wanted to sort of ask the question in a minute to you: what happens? Can Manchester United allow Paul Pogba to leave? Not in the sense that, can we stop him? No, we can't. He can run his contract down. But what does it mean for Manchester United without Paul Pogba? Because I think we talk about, is Pogba going to stay? Will he sign a new contract? Will he run his contract down? Will we swap him with Ronaldo? Will we get a transfer fee? But do we ever talk about what Man United without Paul Pogba actually is? And I think we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, I saw something that Sky Sports said this afternoon, that contract negotiations with Manchester United had opened for Paul Pogba, which makes no sense. He's about to play in the Euros. He's got to have involvement in that contract negotiations, and we've always been led to believe that this won't happen until July. Paul Pogba then spoke to RMC Sport, which is a French outlet, and basically said, there's no concrete extension talks at the moment. My only thoughts are on the Euros. Surprise, bloody surprise. B, there's a lot of sexual super chats coming in, B, and I'm not going to talk about who you're wet for. What I meant was they are dragging this out to do it before the Euros to make it look good, says Desmond Short. I still don't understand what you mean, Desmond. The Euro starts tomorrow. Do you think they're going to do it tomorrow or not? But yeah, Man United will never replace Pogba, same as Ronaldo, says Soham. Good point. But let's talk about what Pogba says and then we'll come on to that. So Paul Pogba says there's no concrete extension talks at the moment with United and he's just focused on the Euros. This is the most obvious statement ever because Paul Pogba loves playing for France. Paul Pogba is with France. France are the favourites in the Euros. They've got a fantastic team. Paul Pogba loves that team. He loves playing for France and his focus will be on that. Manchester United, he doesn't play for us at the moment. He plays for France. He's in the Euros. He doesn't need to think about Manchester United. He knows he's a Manchester United player. He knows he's got 1 year left on his contract. And he knows after the Euros, he's got to make a decision on his future. But you know what? You know what this is like? I would say, if you're in a job that you quite like, but you're thinking about maybe you want a new job or whether you're going to stay, and you go and get a month's holiday to Magaluf with the lads or the girls or Ibiza or wherever your dream holiday is, and you're away for a month, and that month you're going to enjoy the holiday with your mates, and you're just going to have a great time and not think about your job. And I think that's what Paul Pogba's done. Paul Pogba's on a lad's holiday to Magaluf or a girl's holiday to Ibiza, which isn't sexist in any way, because if the girls want to go to Magaluf, the lads can go to Ibiza or vice versa. But effectively, Paul Pogba is at the Euros on holiday with the French lads. He's working, but he's happy. He's enjoying himself. He ain't thinking about his day job. Not that he disrespects his day job, he's just not thinking about it. And for the next month, would you go on holiday with the lads for a month and think about your job? You sad prat. No, you wouldn't. You'd think, I'm going to have a really good time. I'm going to, enjoy the experience. And you know what? Maybe this experience will give me some perspective when I come back. And that's what Paul Pogba's going to do, and that's basically what he said he's going to do. He's not going on a lad's holiday to Magaluf, if you're tuning in. It's a sort of an example. He's going to the Euros with France. He's focused on that. I don't think he'll be giving United a second thought. I don't think he'll be telling Raiola anything. I don't think he'll be dropping hints about PSG. I think he's focused on that. I think he then finishes the Euros. He probably goes on holiday, and he has a little think, and then he comes back to Manchester and he says, what's your contract offer? Or I want to go now, or I'm running my contract down. We ain't going to find out what is happening with Paul Pogba for probably till the end of July. If anything happens before then, sale or swap deal or new contract, I'll be stunned. He's not going to sit down and do this until the end of July. And that's what we're going to have to wait for. But we always knew that. We've been speaking about this for 6 months. We knew that Pogba didn't want to sign a contract in December, and then we knew that Ollie had a chat with him. He got down to work. He looked a lot happier. He's happy now with France. Maybe he will sign a contract with United. Maybe he'll run his contract down, but we'll find out in July. Maguire is back in training, says Antrin. Yes. Pogba to Chelsea, thoughts? Not a chance. Well, I say not a chance. If Pogba wants to play for Chelsea, he can play for Chelsea in a year's time. We can't stop him. I mean, you make a good point, actually. It's all right me saying there's no chance he's going to play for Chelsea, there's no chance he's going to play for Man City. But actually, it could easily happen, because if he says, I want to play for Chelsea, and we say, no, you're not, he says, well, let's see what happens in a year, I'll be free. So it could happen. It could happen. My question to you is, what is Manchester United without Paul Pogba? It's all right saying, can we let Paul Pogba leave? We can't stop him leaving, but what is Manchester United without Paul Pogba? I certainly think it's a weaker side. I love Jack Grealish. I think if Pogba left and you brought Jack Grealish in, I'd say that's a good deal. But I still think, Paul Pogba, to me, there's no answer to this. Because some people would say, I can't wait for him to go. I think him and Raiola are negative. Some people would say he's irreplaceable. I think the genius of Paul Pogba for me is that, he can play centre defensive midfield and be one of the best holding midfielders in the world if he's got Kante next to him. He can play box to box. He can play off the left. He can play as a number 10. And the reason he can do that is because he's very athletic. He's a very good dribbler. He's a very good passer. He's a very good shooter. He's very good in the air. He can hit the ball 50 yards like he's hitting it 5 yards. He's got so many aspects to his game. I think Paul Pogba's underachieved. He's a World Cup winner. He's won numerous Italian titles, but I still think he's underachieved because I think he is probably a player that really should have had a career like Zidane, a consistently world-class career. I don't think Pogba's had a consistently world-class career. And maybe Man United have got a big part to play in that. But I still think he's a very, very difficult player to play because I think to replace because I think he offers so much. Jack Grealish ain't going to play in the midfield too. Jack Grealish is not going to sit in the middle of the pitch and ping 50-yard passes. Paul Pogba is a different type of player. Jack Grealish isn't going to go and track somebody and put a tackle in and win it on the edge of their own penalty box the way that Paul Pogba does. So I think Paul Pogba to United, if Pogba leaves United, they've got to replace him with basically two players. You'd need to bring a Grealish in and you'd need to bring a sort of Declan Rice in. And that's my personal feeling. And I don't know whether United are prepared for that. Sancho will wear number 90 to honour the 90% club, says Mason Reed. Yeah, if you're tuning in a little bit late, it's been an eventful show, but we're now not expecting this Sancho thing to happen before the Euros. When does anybody think Sancho's going to sign, actually? We'll talk about that in a minute. But in relation to Paul Pogba, Paul Robinson says, we've expected Pogba to drag us up to a level where we're never go. Oh, sorry, I don't know what he said there. It's missed. We're never going to get to with the squad we have. And I think Paul's spot on there. I don't think Pogba ever could have dragged us up to where we needed to be. It was almost, and this is the naivety of the Glazers and Ed Woodward, it really, isn't it? We've broke the world record. We've usurped Real Madrid and Barcelona. We're in the Europa League and we've got Paul Pogba for 89 million. Look at us. And then they do that and they go, that's it. All right, they got Zlatan, Bailly and Mkhitaryan. Zlatan was coming towards the end of his career. Mkhitaryan was a risk and Bailly was a bit of an unknown. But we've got Paul Pogba. It doesn't work. One good player doesn't do it. United should have followed Paul Pogba up with 2 or 3 similar class players over the next 18 months. And we didn't. In fact, I think United only really got serious when they brought Bruno in. And Pogba had been here for 3.5 years at that point. So I think that, we haven't delivered the players around Paul Pogba, definitely. He's underachieved because United have, says RC1 Rom, and I think you're absolutely spot on there. So be bitter truth about apart from Sancho, we will not get any first team. Our owner is the same. We will still be hands tied behind our back, says Anup. And I suppose that's the danger, isn't it? Jadon Sancho Paul Pogba is a bit of a warning, where United have bought the marquee signing and then not really done enough else. And I think, you could bring Jadon Sancho into the club. Let's be blunt here. People are talking about Jadon Sancho, a centre-back and a CDM. I don't think we're going to get a CDM. So that's not really sufficient for me. But imagine if you get Jadon Sancho, a centre-back, no CDM and Paul Pogba leaves. Are you in a better situation or a worse? You've got no CDM, you've lost your best midfielder, but we've got a right winger and a centre-back. I'm spotting a massive problem in that team, and it's right in the middle. Without Pogba, we lack depth due to his versatility as a player. If his future is uncertain, we need to plan his replacement now, not next summer, says Lil, which we won't do. Let Pogba go for 30, bring in Grealish, Rice and Varane, play Ahmad and Mason on the right wing, says Manish. No, I mean, look, you might not be wrong there, Manish, but we certainly, in relation to Jadon Sancho, I think we are. I nearly said we're balls deep. I may as well now. We're very far along that road. I don't think there's any turning back from this deal now. I firmly believe we will get it done. 90 million bid incoming, as the title of the show says, which is 90 million euros, which is about 77.5 million. 80 million, that'll be what it does. Out of context, but I watched that guy Romero play for Argentina versus Colombia and he looked super solid, says Shan. Well, as I said before, you could go from De Gea and Romero to Henderson and Heaton. Brexit. Brexit means Brexit. Mark, we need to sign Christian Romero, says Harry. I don't think we will. And Ihab says, if Pogba left, I would like Yuri Tillemans. But I think Ihab's not wrong there. If Pogba went and you brought Yuri Tillemans in, fine. But he doesn't give you everything. Genuinely, my answer to this question is, can Man United afford to lose Pogba? Only if they're going to buy 2 players to replace him. Because I think Pogba is 2 players. Pogba can play in the attacking midfield and he can play in the holding midfield in relation to the pivot. Tillemans can't play as an attacking midfielder like Pogba can, but he can play in the pivot. Grealish can play as an attacking midfielder, but he can't play in the pivot. With Pogba, whatever about his inconsistency, and I agree with that, but with Pogba, you are basically going to have to replace him with 2 players because he can do 2 jobs fantastically. Attacking midfield, defensive midfield. He can do those jobs really, really well. He's 2 players in 1, effectively. All right, he's inconsistent, but he is 2 players in 1. And that, to me, is what I would say about Paul Pogba. If Paul Pogba leaves United, you better be bringing 2 players in, or you better have a player coming through the youth who can fill one of those roles. And would United replace Pogba with 2 players? I mean, the great thing is, remember here on the Pogba situation, Pogba could walk out the door for free twice. Like Jordan said last night, United could lose Pogba for nothing twice. How do you replace a player that's 2 players for nothing when he's gone for nothing? Where are we finding the money to replace Paul Pogba when we're not getting anything for him at 28? One of the best players in the world on his day for nothing out the door twice. We never saw best of Pogba because of lack of CDM, says Saham. And yeah, you know what? I think you're wrong in a way. I do think Pogba has shown glimpses in the holding pivot role when he's got Matic with him. But not, yeah, he needs that sort of player. Remember when Ollie first came in, it was Matic, Herrera and Pogba. That worked really well. Then when Bruno first came in, Matic, Pogba and Bruno worked really well. But Fred, Pogba and Bruno is not going to work. McTominay, Pogba and Bruno is not going to work. You need a proper centre defensive midfielder in there. And with Matic's decline, you're not going to get the best out of Pogba. He does need that Kante next to him, that Matic next to him. He needs a proper CDM who knows what they're doing, and we haven't had that this season. God Love says we don't need Pogba, Mark. Well, I disagree, but there you go. And Sebastian says, I've just had a notification from OneFootball. Pogba says he hasn't been offered an extension, which is sort of true. He did say there's no concrete negotiations at the moment. If Pogba leaves, it will leave Man United in a weak position with Fernandes renewing his contract later, says Azad. You know what? I do cling on to positivity. I think I do cling to the positivity that we'll get Sancho, we'll get Varane, we'll get a good CDM, and Pogba will sign a new contract. I mean, look, imagine that. I don't think this is going to happen. The United stand is the Dortmund of football YouTube. Love you, Flex. Hope you succeed in the future, says Reddy. Hey, no. I'm not having that. Somebody said that to me today. The United stand is a bit like Borussia Dortmund. You bring players in who are, potential, and you turn them into superstars, and then they leave you. The trouble is, the United stand, we ain't Dortmund. We do win titles. We've done fantastically well as a community. We started off as nothing, and we became the first United channel to get 1 million subscribers. We get more views than any other fan channel. So, we're a fusion of Dortmund. I get what you mean with Dortmund. People do come in and they do go. I think we're Manchester United. I think the United stand is Manchester United in the Fergie years. That's what I think we are. I think that we started off, when Sir Alex Ferguson took over United, they were nothing really. They hadn't won a title. They then started winning loads of titles, which I think United stand has done. We started off as nothing, and we've become the best. And I'm talking about you as the community. And along the way, we've had some fantastic people involved who've come in and gone on to other things. At the moment, I'm the Paul Scholes. I'm the one that's been there at the start, and I'm still here now. But one day I might get my transfer. I've always said that, and we'll see what happens with that. But no, I don't. We're not Dortmund. We do actually win titles. So yeah, I don't want to be Sir Alex yet. I still think I've got a playing role, but we'll see what happens with it. I'm emotional. It is what it is. But we'll come back. I'll say we're going to come back. We've got. Lots of people watch this channel and lots of people enjoy it, and I enjoy it as well. But I thought that was nice what we did, because we don't always get the opportunity to do that, because people go and just piss off very quickly and do their thing. But I've spoken to everybody that's left this channel, and regardless of whatever social media wants to say, I've spoken to everybody who's left this channel, and and it's been amicable. But, Flex deserved that. Pogba goes, Donny comes in, box-to-box role. Rice is a CDM with Bruno in a number 10. And we should go for a swap using Pogba, says Manish. And you're still my favourite presenter, Marky, says Ready HD. Yeah, and remember we've got That's Football as well for the Euros. I can't wait for that. I mean, do watch That's Football Euros preview. If you want to get into... If you're a bit unsure about the Euros or whatever... Telling you now, that was so funny. Kev was on, Joe was on, Jordan was on, Craig from Anfield Agenda. It was just wall-to-wall fun. And you do check that preview out tonight if you've got nothing to watch. That's Football. Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. Type it in on YouTube, subscribe to it, but check out the Euros preview. It was loads of fun. You're a legend, Mark, says Tyrant. Well, there's only 17,500 legends, and that's you lot. Some of you have been with us from the start, some of you came in halfway, some of you might even be coming in today. But the United stand has always been the community. And what I always say about the United stand is, we were the first channel to go live. We were the first channel that used to go live and be live for like 45 minutes. When I came onto YouTube, and a lot of these fan channels were owned by media companies, and this is probably why, every bit of content they did was massively edited 5 minutes. 10 things that footballers don't do. It was all. YouTube football was full of 10-minute pre-recorded, heavily edited, high-end videos. And we just sat there on a live stream and chatted. And now everybody does it. And that's because of you. You've been the part of that. People... Look, no, I will never accept this about this channel. This channel is you. It's always been you. Always been you. Because if you don't watch it, it doesn't get to 1 million subscribers. We started off one show a week, as I said, with 50 people watching us, chatting and interacting. And now look where it is. You're the stars of the show. You drive the channel, nobody else. That's the way it should be. That's what real fan content should be about. Mark, you look down, mate. Go have a drink and try and cheer up. You're great, mates, as Andy and Bruno. Look, I would love Sancho to be announced tonight to lift the mood. I really would. But I fear, as I've always said with Sancho, I never thought it was going to happen before the Euros. I would love to be wrong. I really, really would. But I don't think it's going to happen before the Euros. I think a lot of things are going to happen after the Euros. Signings, leavings, contracts, De Gea versus Henderson, all this shit. I think July is going to be rammed, which is why I would love something to have happened before the Euros or during the Euros. But we will see. We will see what happens. Make sure you smash a like on the video, everybody. And please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner to do that. We're getting close to 59,000. But please do check out the Euros preview on Mark Goldbridge That's Football. It was real, real fun. I think I need to go and watch it as well. But look, thanks, everyone. It's been a really weird day. It's been a very weird show. Probably one of the weirdest shows I've ever done. But it had to be done. That's the way it should be. And I just want to say thank you to all of you, because ultimately, you know, without you on the journey and everything, it doesn't mean anything. And I always think back to that first day in March when COVID hit. And I was like, I remember doing the show and I said, I've got no idea when we're going to get to watch football again. We could be 3 months without football. And I said, but we will be live every night at 8 o'clock, because it has to be live at 8 o'clock, because this is a community. And some people didn't watch it, but loads of you did. For 3 months, what did we talk about? There was no football, there was no transfers, and yet we managed to do 3 months every night at 8 o'clock, just chatting. And that, for me, is always the most powerful period of the United Stand, because, you know, the Europa League final, you know, these are external things that are great. But when you've got a community that can go live at 8 o'clock through 3 months of nothing and stick together, that to me was probably the most important period of the United Stand's history. Because it just shows what this is. Whether you're in India, whether you're in Australia, America, you know, Europe, I can't name you all, but you know what I mean. It's a community, and I love it, and it's fantastic. So thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Remember you since you were on a beach in Spain complaining about a new manager called Van Gaal. Love the journey. Keep up the amazing work. This is Casper. You know what? I do need to do that, Casper. I do reaction videos. I think it would be hilarious if I went and selected some old videos and sat me in the corner reacting to them, because I know what I said when we got Mourinho. And I think it would be hilarious to watch it back. And I don't watch stuff back, so I think that'd be fun. We've won the Cup this year and also have a good squad. Don't you dare diss Dortmund, says Bear of Sweden. We've also been in the Champions League final sooner than Man United, even though I love your channel. Well, thank you very much. I'm not disrespecting Dortmund. I'm just not having the United stand compared to Dortmund. We're a United channel. That's what we are. Thanks for watching. Big up everyone who did watch. Really appreciate it. And I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.